Mark your calendars for November 19th, 2026. When the first trailer for this release dropped, it smashed 3 Guinness World Records in a single 24-hour window, logging the most viewed game reveal in history. Generating hype is one thing, but the commercial hurdle is entirely different. The previous installment in the series shipped 230 million copies, setting a massive baseline for financial success. Looking beyond that, the next tier of commercial dominance belongs to Minecraft. Moving 400 million units globally, it represents a level of cultural saturation that few media properties ever achieve. Then there is the absolute ceiling of the medium, Tetris. At 520 million copies sold, this puzzle game has held the crown for decades as the best-selling video game of all time. Approaching these numbers requires a massive mobilization of capital and time. Development has spanned 8 full years and consumed an estimated budget of 18,900 crores, figures that rival the gross domestic product of small island nations. This project represents a calculated engineering effort aimed at delivering the most dominant entertainment property in human history, fueled by nearly 2 decades of financial backing and thousands of days of manual labor. The foundation of this effort is the state of Leonida. Featuring the neon-drenched metropolis of Vice City, the setting operates as a massive modern-day parody of the Florida coastline. Constructing a region this dense requires immense human capital. Rockstar has deployed an army of 6,000 developers to build out every street corner, swamp, and building, explicitly avoiding the use of generative AI tools to fill in the gaps. This diagram maps out the sheer scale of their work, outlining a confirmed 125 square kilometers of playable digital landmass. When we overlay the previous map from Grand Theft Auto V into the center of this new area, the difference in scale becomes clear. The new terrain is roughly 2.5 times larger. By rejecting automated generation in favor of localized human design, the developers ensure that every square kilometer of this expanded territory feels intentionally placed and meticulously crafted. That meticulous design extends down to the micro level. Players have access to over 200 distinct vehicles, and the interiors are fully interactable, allowing you to physically adjust steering wheels, armrests, and even sun visors. Exterior modifications now serve a strict mechanical purpose. Attaching a spoiler to a car actively alters its aerodynamic profile, changing the downward force and tire grip as you drift through tight corners. The simulation applies to organic matter and materials as well. A character's facial hair will grow in real time over the passing days, while clothing dynamically absorbs water and ripples depending on wind speed. These elements combine with a dynamic weather system that actively shapes navigation. Heavy rains and flooded terrain will dramatically reduce vehicle traction, forcing drivers to adapt to the hazardous environmental extremes of the swamplands. Vice City operates as a continuous, volatile physics simulation where every micro-detail compounds, forcing players to constantly adjust their approach to driving, escaping, and surviving. Navigating this simulation falls to the franchise's new dual protagonists, Jason and the series' first female lead, Lucia, who actually begins her story confined in a state prison. Operating with a tightly knit dynamic, the pair introduces cooperative mechanics to the single-player campaign. Players will coordinate joint store robberies, swap weapons through shared inventories, and execute synchronized escapes. Their actions are broadcast across a new in-game network called ViceTube. This short-form social media ecosystem is directly integrated into the core gameplay loop, capturing the digital habits of the city's residents. This digital integration introduces severe consequences for careless criminals. If a bystander records your robbery and posts it to their feed, it will actively alert local law enforcement and permanently tag your reputation in that specific district. Scoring these high-speed getaways is a massive, curated soundtrack spanning multiple in-game radio stations, featuring returning favorites like V-Rock and legendary tracks by artists like Tom Petty. Between the aggressive police AI and a civilian population armed with smartphones, outrunning the cops is no longer enough to evade capture. Surviving the modern state of Leonida means escaping the ever-watching lens of viral media. Compared to the polygonal models and static environments of 2002, the modern Vice City operates as a breathing, reactive simulation built with contemporary hardware in mind. When November 19th, 2026 finally arrives, millions of PlayStation and Xbox users will log in, marking a massive commercial test for the broader entertainment industry. This release stands as a benchmark for human-led digital artistry, proving that combining immense capital with years of manual design can expand a virtual world's capabilities past previously assumed technical limits.